All right, lads, we are here. We are ready to go. We are just about to start this installment of the Paladin Partner. And on the last session, let me tell you, you guys almost got nuked by some kind of soul orb in the Underdark. You had to figure out what the problem was with the entryway into Augustius's domain. And as you were navigating that, and even upon entry into that, while Augustius did seem to understand what was going on and what was expected, things didn't quite add up. And soon it became obvious that something more bizarre and demented was afoot, where pockets of Fizz's domain seemed to be seeping into Augustius's. The regrets that they shared, the experiences that they had, bleeding into one another in a way that became impossible to contend with. And at the apogee of this moment, this realization, and the disillusion of the experiences, the terrain around you all started to shift and shake, and the walls gave way to sandstone, the environment, the air becoming much more humid, much more dense. And at the end of the day, at the end of this whole transformation, you found yourselves in a very different location than you had been before. And so the question then became, what does that leave you with? Where even are you? The only one of you who knows the answer to that definitively would be a now invisible Fizz. So as the shapes and colors stop contorting, and you find yourselves beholding a room that looks not at all like what you had just been in. A little outcropping of the desert, a shelter against the sand and the wind, with the same table from Augustius's realm, still anchored into this location. And yes, Jason is indeed a bull.
Dude, I
So I can't
having
move.
really-
Am I supposed to not be able to move right now?
You're moving.
I think I was having a really bad day.
I see a black
last session.
screen.
Oh, for some reason, every
I don't
time I
remember any of
move,
this.
That's because you just
I
scroll over.
move.
Roll over.
We're on the bottom right of the map, and your screen probably started in the top left.
Perfect.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, because I had the same thing.
Wait, weren't we inside a building?
And
The building became a cave.
All of
Oh,
reality.
okay. I don't know why I didn't remember this part. But
Yeah, I just described it.
oh, I'm sorry.
Lamau.
Can I fit through here?
Am I audible?
Yes.
Like, at all?
Did you
Yes.
started to say something earlier, but I did not hear what it was.
I was saying that I think I was having a really bad day the last TPP session because I don't remember like half of the session that happened. But I do remember that we were in a building and that we were getting transported to Fizz's head.
Well, you had just made Fizz invisible, so now it's going to be a
Yeah,
hard time to figure out where he is.
I can see Fizz. No, I can't. I can see Augustia.
You kobolds all look.
All kobold. That's right. All
I hate
kobolds
when
are
people-
just the same.
Fizz?
Fizz does not respond.
Where is Fizz?
Fizz is going to try to get as far away as possible.
In which direction would you like to try to
I
flee?
promise this isn't metagaming.
Where is the
but-
monster still? Because I think it was on the table last time.
It was indeed on the table, but it has not seemed to have joined you since this transformation.
Awesome. He's gonna be. He doesn't know where to go then.
What were you about to say, Shoulder? What's not metagaming?
I promise this isn't metagaming. Shoulder would be trying to, like, literally hear for Fizz, because obviously he remembers turning invisible.
Yeah, does hallucination, or not hallucination, invisibility do anything to shield you from, like, to stealth your physical movements? It's just
says
invisible.
they're invisible. Yeah.
Well, I guess it depends on how heavily, well, never
I
mind.
think it's safe to say I don't hear him.
You don't hear him. Unless Fizz like starts screaming, doing something really obvious.
Yeah.
Because we would just use your passive perception
he's-
and be like, yeah, that's not it.
Yeah, I think Fizz is going to actively be trying to be quiet given the situation.
Right.
What Shoulder's gonna follow the bull.
Okay. What does Augustius do now that he's not really anchored in the same spot as he was prior? And the signs of the monster that was sort of born of the bandit man that he had beaten. Now
He's
that
going
that's the
to just kind of, after a moment of shock, which I don't know why, at this point why he would be shocked. It's such insanity. He's just gonna like walk around and explore if he can. I guess he can't. There's something
Augustius
outside.
abandons the party.
I was just gonna have him walk outside, but I guess I can't. He's stuck.
There's an entrance right here.
I was going out this way. That's why I said he couldn't go out. Oh, yeah. So he's not letting me go right. Okay, so then yeah, he will move under the giant bull or past the giant bull.
The giant bull even fit.
Despite there being
there-
very clear entrances and exits that almost mirror the paths, the doorways into the building that you had been in previously, there seems to be something intangible. Something that it feels as solid as a wall, even the same texture to Augustius's hand as a wooden wall, in fact, but clearly not there physically or visually. And you can see right through it. You can see directly to a sand dune that lurks throughout the room there.
I guess he's gonna lean down and kind of palm the sand. Does it feel like sand? Or does it feel like wood?
The sand also seems to have the consistency of wood, and as you palm the sandy ground that does not that does not seem to have a texture of sand, although it does still have those fine elements, like grains of it are still slipping through your fingers, but they feel like wood chips or something instead of sand. You'll hear a loud cracking sound, the sound of wood at first cracking, but then the sound of stone grinding as Jason, in his bull form, attempts to break this impassable, invisible, but very tangible barrier. While something does seem to be giving way, Jason, it's not allowing you passage. The shockwave of the sound will certainly disturb the wood-feeling sand and spray it about.
I guess this palm sand. I'm just kidding. It's a pound sand. It's
Pound
palm
sand, yeah, palm sand.
Yeah. He's going to hop up on the chair
Okay.
and examine the table, which seems to be the only the only thing that was from the, home here.
Right.
Which is interesting.
I'll assist him with this.
Okay. Maybe you can roll a perception with advantage then, I guess.
Yes, I will roll perception with advantage. Oh, I did disadvantage. Okay,
Anyway.
Yeah, well, we would be going with 15 plus 3 with advantage. So that's fine.
18.
18 then. Okay. So as you and Benson are sort of like peering over this table and examining it, there's yet another loud crash, but this time significantly more like stone being grinded against the floor, against other stone. And Jason, that one's gonna sting a little bit. There's something very solid. But whatever wooden texture you could have felt before, it's fully given way, and now it seems you're slamming into stone. Stone that, by all accounts, is not there, yet certainly feels like it after that charge. And for Augustius and Benson's investigation, we will say that the table itself, it initially does give the impact of it being a wooden table, and there's grains upon it, and there's grooves in it, but as you palm the table, moving your fingers over it, it feels very gritty, very like there's a spackled aspect of it. It's like each part of the table is made of a slightly different hard material. Perhaps each part of it is something more along the lines of, one ore, and then one rock, and then another ore, and then another rock. There's little different divots within it, everything about it being very uneven. It's as if you're touching and grasping an upraised piece of earth that has been shaped into a makeshift table. You'll even watch in disbelief as your fingers pass through what would be the wood, as if this is some sort of strange illusory magic that is cloaking the true identity of what it is.
So it's just like real but not real.
Right, it visually matches where you were, but it feels like a piece of sandstone or something.
All of the table and everything on it, like the cups and the plate. And
yeah, the objects feel like loose rocks as opposed to the more sturdy, heavy amount.
Boy. I guess he sits back in the chair and ponders why, out of everything, this table. But he doesn't remember. He remembers one of the chairs being broken, probably the one he's sitting in. But nothing in particular was special about this table, as far as his memory is concerned. So why would it be here? And like, how high are the rock walls? Is it just like, are we inside it? We're inside a cave, right?
Yeah, it's sort of like a cavern type
ceiling
deal. Yeah, it's like a sand, a wind sanctuary, something like that.
Is it natural light or artificial light?
It feels like as if the sun were like a faint sun had illuminated the room, but there's nothing visually indicating, like there's no light source that you can see.
Is there anything under the table?
Just a rug, visually.
I want to try to move the table.
All right. With no result from Jason hoofing the wall, besides making yet another loud sound, there's the sense that this table is made of something quite heavier than wood, something that would strain many men in order to try to move it or pick it up or upturn it. However, the It does seem to, I guess we'll say I'll need an athletics check if you're going to keep on going with it after my description there.
What's in this direction?
Oh. All right, Benson.
Natural 19.
You're able to get it to budge and sort of shift, and you hear the same sort of sound, but to a quieter degree, as you heard when Jason's bull form smashed into the rock earlier. The sound of stone grinding on stone. It's not moving very quickly for you, but it's like a very subtle shift, and it took a lot of effort for you.
They don't make the tables quite like they used to, brothers.
Augustus is going to ignore him. So the table is super heavy. Everything's made of stone and wood. He's gonna look under the table.
Oh yeah, that's what Benson just did. There's a rug under the table.
A rug under the table.
What's in this direction?
In the direction you're looking at, Shoulder, there is seemingly an endless expanse of sand dunes that radiate up and down, some too high to even cross to the trough of, or the peak of rather, and it does seem to terminate in a scenic sort of like on the horizon. There's immense mountains made of sand, made of sandstone, that seem to have been petrified in the distance. But just as you take a moment to walk towards it, there's perhaps similar to what you saw Jason interacting with earlier, the sort of hard wall of some sort that visually does not exist and seems to allow you to see past it, but refuses to allow you passage. Now, Fizz, as someone who does recognize this place, what do you do?
Where is Fizz?
That's a good question.
He's invisible.
Oh. Because I don't know what Fizz was. I don't. Remind me, I wouldn't know that. Fizz was having his own problem at the same time.
I think you were a little too busy with yours. Yeah.
You saw the girl. Well, I guess you didn't see the girl, but Jason saw the girl. Was it the girl became the kobold or kobold became the girl? One of the two happened.
Both happened. It was just in sequence.
Yeah, and then she was thrown to the side when the Wendigo jumped on the table. And Shoulder made Fizz invisible.
Yeah, Shoulder has that as a concentration feature, and so technically could cancel at any time, but I don't think Shoulder wants to yet.
And so I didn't see Shoulder do that.
Yeah, for all you know, Mithridates and Fizz are completely different. Not even here. Also, Baleful, if you've been talking, I have not heard you.
Oh, sorry, I was having issues with my headphones dying, so...
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
If you spoke to me, I apologize for not hearing it.
Yeah, all good. Did you hear the gist of everything that has happened? Where Jason tried to punch his way through the invisible barrier to the west?
Yeah, those exits aren't actually exits and are fake and seem to be just like stone walls, essentially. And there's a weird table from Augustius's backstory that stuck around for some reason that no one's quite sure of.
Yeah, in your memory, there was a proper, there was this sort of stone pedestal, if you will, that just a formation of some sort. And so that is the closest thing you can map onto it, but it's not what it looks like.
Right. So it's just weirdly been superimposed on top of something from my memory.
Right. As had apparently many of Augustius's components as well.
Right.
So, Jason, if you're trying to get
So where
more...
Fizz is
Okay,
standing currently, is that like a little cubby?
Yeah, there's like a tiny little cutaway you could probably try to put yourself into, right?
Yeah. He's gonna jam himself in there to hide.
Perfect. And Jason, you're trying to move the table to help Benson with the table. Is Benson still trying to move it?
If Jason is trying to help me, then sure.
Oh, Jason saw you struggling with it, and he can't do anything, so... And he's not going to turn into a human again 5 seconds after, we just saw a monster trying to kill us.
You gotta back up
So
and
he'd
charge
like-
that table at like 30 feet, dude.
What?
You gotta back up like 30 feet and charge that table.
You can tell Jason to do that. Right now, he was just sort of like leaning up against it as the giant bull and, shoving with all his enhanced might.
That's right. So we'll need an athletics check from you, sir. Sir Bull.
Advantage because assistance?
Sure.
My rolls are garbage every time.
Just from leaning on it, you're able to push it another inch or so, but it's definitely providing plenty of resistance.
All right. Very frustrated. Jason sort of takes one of his horns and he sort of guides it up onto Benson's side and sort of gently nudges him out of the way.
Oh shit.
Benson will nod and step away.
Jason will get all the way back. He'll look at the Augustius and he'll let out a bovine sort of... Get the fuck off. Jason will lower his head, and he will charge with all his might at the table.
Hell yeah. Roll for damage, dude.
Oh, yeah. I just need damage. Then get the bonus damage, too, because I move 20 whatever.
Alright.
So that is 14.
Hell yeah. So, we'll say that... Let's see here. Basically, as you're charging, right, as you're just smashing through the ground there, there's going to be like the sound of wood splintering under your hooves with your great weight and strength being shown. And Augustius, you specifically will watch as the table sort of seems to come undone for a moment. There's a loud crack within the stone, and the table sort of very oddly for its visual and its apparent proportions, it sort of very suddenly is pushed over onto its side, revealing a puff of red stone dust that's been ground into a powder almost that comes up and dusts off from Jason's assault. In the process, there seems to be something that hangs there as the dust settles. A short, like a small piece of paper, a parchment, that seems to have been concealed inside the stand of the table. Whatever the analog is to a stone pedestal.
You say that one more time?
After,
the last bit, just the last bit.
Yeah, there's been some kind of loose parchment was concealed inside the sort of stand of the table. And now that it's shorn off by Jason's assault, it seems to have come loose.
Okay, so I'm going to take the parchment. I assume I can just pluck it up.
Yeah.
It's not like stuck in anything.
No,
Okay.
yeah. It kind of like flew out a little bit.
All right. Well, gonna take the parchment and examine it.
It has a careful sort of arc to the words. The handwriting is the penmanship, if you will, is careful. It's clearly someone who is educated has been writing this, and it reads as a confession of love. Love that should not have been had by a person of this stature. Someone whose love is clearly forbidden, and yet someone who feels like it is them who must, the two of them must still make a union together. You are able to pretty easily divine who this note must have belonged to.
Right. The lady. So, yeah. I guess this knew, right? Already based upon her actions in the past, that apparently she did genuinely, sincerely love this idiot. And maybe this outlaw also genuinely loved her. Which, was always a possibility, but it was irrelevant. He was an outlaw, a brigand. He broke the law, and justice had to be done. But, it's still, regrettable. It's very sad that such a, promising young lady was, by her passions, whether they were, good or bad, again, irrelevant, was put in a situation, where she ended up dead. And this is the first time in a very long time Augustus has had to think about this. He shoved it deep down inside, away, so he wouldn't have to think about it. That while the law must be followed, and there are repercussions to, your moral failings, it's clearly has been damaging and weighing heavily upon him that, justice and mercy, maybe they're not completely separate things. Maybe the situation could have been handled with less zeal, so that the man could have been accosted and he would not have felt so intent on defending himself through violence, and then she wouldn't have had to die in the first place. But, that is the past, and it's nothing that he can change now. And the people that he's been fighting as of late certainly have not been in any gray area. They have been just objectively evil people. So the scenarios have been very different, but still, killing is never an easy thing to do. And now he'll just kind of like look around and say aloud, "What's the point? I don't quite understand."
How closely are you watching the situation, Fizz?
He's probably watching from his little cubby everything that's happening.
Okay.
In fact, he's probably looking around, scared that the monster will show back up.
Right, of course, yeah. Okay. All right.
Jason looks down at Augustius with intelligent bull eyes that are like, well, what's on the fucking note?
Augustus will roll up the parchment and put it inside of his robe. A confession.
The bull gives Augustius a questioning look and then steps back and with his horns points at Augustius, sort of like where he put that parchment, and then he points to Benson with his horn. Like,
Augustus raises a scaly eye ridge, like, why would I give it to him?
Jason, reading your features, stomps his cloven hoof 2 times angrily.
It's Jason trying to communicate as a bull.
I'm not going to waste this fucking charge like I wasted the last one on a hallucination.
This is not Benson's
We don't get the
trial.
rest.
It is mine.
Is that something for me, brother?
No.
Jason, as soon as he hears the no, lets out a bovine.
Haven't I ritual casted speak with animals before?
Yes, it does take 10 minutes to ritual cast, though.
All right, Shoulder's gonna he's gonna message Jason. 10 minutes, and then he's gonna start ritual casting.
Hey, I can think that back at him though, right? Because it's a message.
Yeah.
So I'll say in my message, tell Augustius to give the paper over so we can solve the damn mystery.
Shoulder, if you start saying that now, you will interrupt your ritual.
Come on, don't autism this. Just, you can be the in-between, because I understand, I just can't vocalize.
But I
So
really
you can
want
just
to
message.
But
Oh my
I
God.
really want to.
I'm gonna have to end up like smacking Augustius now, and he will lose health.
Hold on, chess game. And I'm not actually.
You just want
Shoulder will tell Augustius. He says hand over the paper so he can figure out the message or something.
Augustius sighs. It's a written love letter from one foolish girl. What possibly could Benson see?
I don't know, but Benson is a fool. What? I mean, what's the worst that happens with you handing over the letter?
Augustius grumbles, not liking that so many people are basically inside of his head and inside of his past life. People doesn't like. On top
Oh
of that.
wow, it's almost like everyone else had to deal with this shit.
Yes, but you're not Augustius, so.
Yes,
Oh.
we are not entitled pricks. Yes.
Speaking of the worst that can happen,
Where Fizz and the L?
oh, Fizz, he's right here.
He's right where?
Huh.
Wait, what did you do now?
Jason
I
can
ended-
see
I ended
Fizz.
my concentration. Where is he?
As you do that,
Oh,
you
yeah.
hear
Wait, hold
another-
on. He's trying to he's trying to hide, so he should roll a stealth check. And if you guys can't see him, then you can't see him.
The invisibility ended. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh,
roll a
fuck
stealth check.
me. No,
Where's my inspiration?
He is actively hiding.
Wait, you could have just assisted me, and we could have had a +5. Okay, he loses.
I think you might get advantage because you're in such a hidey spot.
Okay.
No, but he wasn't expecting the
will-
invisibility to end. I feel like Fizz would be caught off guard by that
Oh shit!
and not have advantage.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
he
'cause
said he was
Fizz
hiding
is-
anyway. Like even before the invisibility ended, he was like trying to be very careful.
Yeah, but how well can you hide when you don't know how visible you are?
That's a good
Well,
point.
he actively found a cubby to hide in.
Yeah, and he can still see himself. It's other people who can't see him.
Benson, assist me.
I
in
always wondered if that's
percepting
true.
So I can roll again.
You can't assist a bull in perception.
Yes, you can.
That's not how that
You
works.
You can look around. and
Benson
then you
can also
point
look
with your
around
finger.
on his own. Yes, he can also use his own perception.
Well,
Benson, perceive.
That's if he even cares to look.
Benson's currently trying to perceive the meaning of this love letter.
Lord.
Oh yeah, did
Yeah, but the bird just said he's here.
did Augustius handed him the love letter? I missed that. If that happened.
He was basically about to when he asked about Fizz and Metroid IDs. So he will begrudgingly hand over the letter to Benson.
And Benson's more concerned with reading the letter right in this moment than Fizz or Mithridates. Is that right? Like, it hasn't occurred to him, basically, to think about that?
Well, I mean, he just dealt with Jason trying to get his attention about this, so I think
Yeah.
that's what he'd be thinking about.
Right. Okay.
So he'll as Augustius hands over the letter, he'll say,
A confession of love, eh, brother? Well, love is one of the hardest paths to travel.
Do you then
Well,
look over the letter?
As you read the letter, the giant bull just sort of leans over your shoulder, casting a shadow,
yeah,
clearly attempting to read at the same time.
I'm going to crouch down a little bit so that you can read eye level with me.
That's it. Okay. Benson, contrary to what you were told to expect, this letter seems to have a hastily written chicken scratch that's barely legible. The writing itself is angry, insolent, entitled, demanding. It's the letter of demands of someone who seems to be writing directly to your father. Someone who seems to wish to be the head of the company, of the Paladin Partner. Someone who seems to have been frozen out of family dealings, and in their mind, quite unrightfully wrong. You recognize this as the writing of your uncle, the one who you had to take up a sword against. It's an unpleasant flashback to that time, but clearly not what Augustius had said it was.
Well, this is quite the love letter, brother. This is a love of greed, a love of wrongdoing and taking.
Augustus narrows his eye. It is no such. It is within reason that Augustus would quickly piece together, due to the insanity of this entire situation, that it is basically it changes depending on who's reading it. Which would make sense given all of the stuff to do about the trial. So he offers his hand out, saying, like, hand it back.
Shoulder will say, Augustius lied. Let me read that.
Jason, the text for when you were reading it, the text itself seems to be a letter of confession indeed, but not of love. It's instead of some sort of ill-gotten gain or deal gone wrong. It's the steady hand of Baelor Valentis, the handwriting that you still recognize in that dwarven script that he used oh so sparingly for all the ink it cost him to write in such a fashion. Whatever it speaks of doesn't actually seem to be anything that a dealing that you can remember having, but it leaves you with more questions than answers. And I'm assuming then that Shoulder will also read it?
Shoulder will be very much trying to read it, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know if somebody gave it to him or not.
I hope someone gives it to him. He wants to read what Augustius lied about.
Augustus does not appreciate being called a liar. But
Well, then don't
when
lie.
as he takes it from Benson, he then kind of grabs the top of it and holds it up for the Birdman to read. Tell me, what does it say for you, feathered one?
What does it say for me?
Shoulder, this writing seems to be heavy script. There was a lot of pressure on the whatever pen had been used to write this, and it's a scratch that you can barely recognize. Perhaps it's not even meant to be in a language you could normally perceive, and yet somehow you're able to understand. This is writing of a bounty to be collected. The head of a half-smith. The head of one Pencer.
Oh, this is just the bounty of my former owner. That guy was a real loser.
Yeah, that confirms that suspicion.
That you're a liar?
No, you idiot.
Hear a
You're
bullish
liar?
laugh behind you.
That the text
It's rather uncanny.
that the text on this parchment changes depending on who's looking at it.
Maybe you guys just can't read.
Augustus bites his tongue to keep from swearing.
Anyway, I could have sworn Fizz would have been transferred with us. I have an idea. As many ideas, this is a great one. Shoulder is going to pull out his lute, and he's going to cast Minor Illusion in the form of the huge monster thing that was chasing Fizz, and he's going to spawn it right on the table and act really scared. I am willing to roll a performance check.
Okay, what exactly are you spotting on the table?
The huge monster that Fizz was terrified of that I had to make
Wendigo.
that I turned him invisible.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
the Wendigo. And then I'm acting really scared to make it seem like it's really real.
Do you say follow my lead?
No. But you
Well-
also maybe you guys do you know? No?
If you say follow my lead,
But do you know that it's fake?
why would we think that it would be real?
Why not?
Because we're watching you do the magic.
You don't know that.
Pretty sure we do. You have to like use your loot. You're also 5 feet away. Oh my god. The world is orange, and I got fucking booted from the Paladin Partner. Lovely.
You got what?
See? That's what I'm really scared about. Bad internet.
The world turned orange,
got
and
booted.
I got fucking deleted.
Well,
Alright.
you're still on my screen.
I guess
so-
we're. Or I guess
Yeah, I
we're,
see you on my screen.
Yeah, that was something. Signing in, baby. Just signing as wheat.
All right. Shoulder, as you You cast your magic and out screams the Wendigo from before. Once again, its bloodied form seemingly just dripping with venom, malice, and perhaps a bit of pain as it cries out, looking haggard and very concerned about its surroundings. Are you going to roll your performance check?
Yeah, Shoulder's gonna look at that thing and he's gonna be like, this was not part of my plan.
Okay.
Fuck. Guidance.
Guidance, yeah. Roll it.
Augustus. I guess I roll perception, although I kind of like standing right there.
11.
Wait, what are you? What are you trying to perceive? Jason had to roll perception because he wanted to see if it was real.
Well, yeah, that's basically what I would be doing. to see
Okay,
if it
yeah.
was
You can also
real.
roll perception. Then.
Oh my god, why?
Why
Wow.
I think
That's
I'm
not
still
good.
connected to my other token because every time I try and move the bowl, it shoots me over into the black, and I assume that's where my other token is, like over here.
Try again.
For one, too.
There we go. Hallelujah.
Okay.
Making me nauseous.
Bing bong.
Okay,
Is the bowl? Is it real?
so
Go ahead, Fizz. I'll answer Shamu's question after.
Fizz is going to make an intelligence saving throw
Okay.
with disadvantage.
Because he's really scared.
I had 11.
He failed. Yes. So, you're going to hear a very loud yelp from where Fizz is at,
Mhm.
and then he's going to then like push himself even further into the cubby if that's physically possible.
It is, but it will definitely make it difficult for you to escape after, like, counting it as, like, difficult terrain or whatever, or having to use your whole action to get out.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. That's fine. He's
Alright.
gonna do it.
Got it. All right. So, Augustius, while Shoulder's performance was not necessarily the most convincing of responses to the monster suddenly appearing, the creature certainly does seem real. It looks real, and it certainly has that same malicious look upon it.
Yeah.
It's-
He's
it's-
going
it's-
to cast Sacred Flame on it immediately.
Okay. The Wendigo turns over as soon as it hears Fizz's yelp and locks empty eye sockets with Fizz. Assuming Fizz is looking at it anyway. Looking directly at Fizz. Jason, the creature is real.
He's definitely looking. Jason, the creature is real.
Yeah, well, he rolled a 16.
I told you guys it wasn't part of my plan. That thing was
I
obviously
figured
real.
as much.
What gave it away? The lighting change?
No, the fact that it's concentrated. No, the fact that you had it moving, because I didn't say that it should move.
Yeah.
That's what gave it away.
Okay, so that's a 25 to hit. We'll say that hits. Or 6.
Wow, all 6 damage.
No, he's doing more damage than that. He's just
No, I
targeting
know,
himself
it's-
like a goober.
It's hilarious that he got like a 25 to hit, and then the 2d6 plus 3 results in a total of 6.
I'm telling you, man, my dice suck, but the charge doubles it, so we're okay. Out of
Okay.
24 total damage, we get 12, so it's actually mid.
Yeah, that's kind of mid.
Oh no, 20. It would be 27 total. So actually, this is worse than mid. I'm underperforming.
And you're still targeting yourself. I wouldn't want to do that damage to you.
Let's see, how much would that be? Out of 42, that's still not bad.
Okay. So this creature shrieks in agony as its form is punctured by giant bull horns, and almost like parts of it are crushed under the weight. As it suffers its, this grisly blow, the Wendigo seems to let out not just its scream and of agony and pain, but also this bizarre cry of, or not even necessarily a cry. It's almost like laughter, the laughter of a woman who Augustius will recognize as the woman who wrote the words upon his letter, as if somehow her laughter has been etched into this creature.
I sacred flame it.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to give it disadvantage on that check because it is being crushed by a bull. So. Let's see. All right. There you go. 7. Is it burning damage? Is it fire damage? Radiant damage? Radiant damage. 7 radiant damage.
Oh, that's
The Wendigo is seared by the sacred fire of Augustius. And as that wound is spawned, you hear the same cries that some of you heard outside, the "Don't leave me, Fizz Fizz!" The high-pitched shriek of someone who once knew Fizz Fizz.
What is this thing looking like?
What is what?
How bad is this thing looking?
Very bad.
Shoulder will pull out the skull of Pencer and channeling his regular bardic magics and attempt to vicious mockery, saying the words, "You're not even supposed to be real." I get one.
1. I do like the deep laugh compared to what we would expect to happen.
You fool. I'll teach you for leaving Fizz Fizz, brother, and I will stab him.
With advantage for flanking, of course.
You can overcome your fear, Fizz Fizz. You have a pack who can kill this thing.
Ooh,
Fizz
all right.
Fizz is completely scared out of his mind.
Without it, while the beast's eye sockets still seem fixated upon Fizz Fizz, there's another cry out in pain and agony, and as the blade of Benson cleaves part of its form, now bleeding and spilling out across the wreckage of the table that's been knocked over by Jason's bull charge. Well, the creature is going to attempt to leap with what little stamina it has left towards Fizz Fizz, invoking attacks of opportunity from all of you.
Including me?
Does it not?
That's hard to tell where it is. Oh,
That wasn't in response to the attack of opportunity. I was just...
So it's with disadvantage, correct?
Yep. It looks like the weapon
It's a
from...
nat 1, but I got a million pluses.
You do, yeah. So it looks like the only one to hit is the tusk attack from Jason. So let's see that damage.
How are you getting?
Sure, I can't add guidance to that.
How
You cast Bless on us with a scroll at the start of the fight.
Yeah, that was from Benson. Like before you guys even walked in.
Oh, that's
You
right.
cast it on Shoulder, myself, and Augustius.
Oh, doesn't it?
I'm still not sure why I did.
Maybe it's 10 minutes. It's 1 minute. Yeah, has it been a minute?
This thing is still alive.
For the bless scroll, yeah, it's coming up on the end of its duration for sure.
Okay.
We'll resolve it.
I mean,
after
we
this.
didn't do much. We literally just smashed something, read a note.
Okay, the Wendigo soars away from the table with what little vitality it still has, and as Jason and the rest of the party all reach for their last chance to attack it before it does, the puncture of yet another stab of the horns seems to do the creature in as it falls limply and lifelessly right before Fizz, rolling over and leaving a stain of blood. As it does so, it seems to shift and twitch, its form clearly not quite what would you say? Its form clearly not quite done providing some sort of presence as it eventually shifts into
Brother.
a familiar sight for Fizz, and a grim one at that. The shattered
Zeet.
form of Zeet now lies before you.
Fizz runs over to check on him and grabs his assumedly lifeless body.
Yes, it's very limp. It's covered in bestial claw marks. There's a great wound where his chest once was. It's a grisly sight.
I'm sorry, Zeet. I shouldn't have left you behind. So Fizz is essentially cradling his friend and starts to cry.
Gustius climbs on the table to see, because he wants to, expecting a monster, and instead it turns into a dead kobold. And he sighs. I hate this shit. He says, swearing and in the common vernacular for the very first time. And his shoulders kind of sag. He wants to be done with this hellhole.
And I was ready to say that it was time to Wendigo away.
That is so meta. Did not know that this creature named a Wendigo in universe.
Augustius turns
That was
and
never stated to me.
okay,
I become Jason again, by the way.
he was about to sacred flame, so snap his fingers and set his feathers on fire.
I would have dodged it.
No longer a bull, Jason walks over to Fizz and gently places a shoulder on
Shoulder?
on the small not a shoulder, a hand on the shoulder of the small kobold.
He picks up the shoulder and places it on top of him.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, he actually goes and grabs shoulder and puts him on there, on his on the shoulder
Yep.
of Fizz.
Yeah,
But anyway, and he says,
make a meta joke.
"Good lord, Jason's trying to be tender here, and it's like, good lord." But anyway, he says, "It's all right, laddie. It's almost over now.
It's all my fault. I'm the reason he was out here.
All the reason that somebody ended up in this accursed place. The reason we're here, but the reason that we're here now is to overcome that. Move past. It's your turn. Just as it was mine, and Benson's, and Shoulders. It's what he would have wanted. And he looks at the kobold corpse.
Fizz looks up at Jason, tears wetting his face, and he says, I didn't know you cared, Jason.
You ain't a bad lad. I don't like seeing good one cry. And he'll pat him on the head. And my house just nearly exploded. Nice.
Fizz looks over at Seed's corpse, and he says, I wanted to go out and play, and I made him come with me because we were friends. But that's when that monster, I think it smelled us or something. And I ran away. And this is what happened to my friend.
You can't change nothing about the past. You can only make sure you don't make the same mistake in the future.
It's
you
just
plan on
hard.
doing that again, son?
I guess I kind of already didn't do it again. When Benson was fighting Ursuline, I wanted to run away, but I didn't. Because he died and I did nothing. I didn't feel as awful as I do right now.
No one can call you a coward. Not after all you've done.
Thank you, Augustius. That
And
means a lot. That
furthermore, how were you to know? How were you to know? In the same manner that I didn't know. I killed a young woman.
Elders.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, the elders of my warren warned us about going out. They said that there was something that had come, but I didn't listen.
So you were young and foolish, like every, young and foolish boy. And it is obvious that you have learned the very difficult lesson. Time to move on. Just like I need to move on. There's no corpse of my failing. You see, I'd come to accost a brigand who had been well, accosting and harassing good folks. I came here to deliver justice. And first I found his pretty lady. You see, the village headsman had told me that his daughter had disappeared, had been seen gallivanting about. Whether she was kidnapped against her will or she had gone willingly, we didn't know. Come to find out, she was madly in love with the brigand. And, in a fit of, well, love-struck rage, attacked my person as I tried to deliver justice. And in her blind fit of anger, I killed her. An ugly thing. She was I had so long condemned her. I said she had deserved it. Of course she had deserved it. She was gallivanting about in cahoots with a murderer, a thief, a lawbreaker. But she was just a young woman. They're all the same. Foolish, naive, trusting their hearts, going where it tells them to go. And it had cost her. And it cost me, well, mercy, I suppose. And a temper, which all of you have inflamed countless times. I was angry. Angry at her, angry at him, angry at myself. Just as I suppose in this moment, I am angry with all of you. And everybody else. Even heaven itself. But still myself, most of all. You seem to have moved on in a much better way than I have. I might struggle with mine for the rest of my days. He sighs. It is well. And no, I don't hate you. My outburst earlier was, well, misdirected, though I do believe justified. Now then, he kind of brushes down his tunic. That's enough of that. We need to find a way out of here so that we can set things right and that your friend can rest eternally at peace.
Isviz looks up to Augustius and he says, can we bury him first? I didn't get a chance to bury him last time.
Well,
Jason
if
nods in
in,
agreement.
if in the world, dreamscape, whatever this is, permits it, I see no reason why not.
Thank you. I really appreciate this, guys. So
I guess, yeah,
we possess
we'll
each other.
bury him. Well, I mean, like, we got kobolds with claws and a bird with claws.
Turn into
And-
a bull and start digging.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah, turn a bull, start be useful.
there. You go.
Jason will druidcraft a shovel by having tiny roots grow around a very small rock.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Nice.
All right.
Primitive shovel unlocked.
That's right. You guys are digging a spot. You finding a spot that you think is good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and-
probably a spot that is
Wherever.
hopefully not as wood in.
Right.
We'll probably let Fizz pick the spot.
Yeah, definitely.
Fizz remember seeing like this alcove over here. They'd probably bury him over here, assuming that we can actually like dig over here.
Yeah.
Right. Makes sense. All right. Wait a sec here. You guys are gonna carry him over there, and
Yep.
is that a good spot where he's placed now?
Yeah, that's right where.
All right.
He then turns into the girl and starts screaming.
Please don't.
Being buried alive.
I gotta see his wife. Durgle proceeds to delete us from the timeline.
You fucked it up again. You weren't supposed to bury him.
Benson is kobold racist. He refused to help dig.
What a bigot.
He's
Every time he sees
He's
it,
not
he
racist,
has some
he just
sort of
doesn't like
like
them,
weird
you know?
sixth sense that he became him at some point. Or ZZ? Not ZZ.
Having
This looks a lot like
weather.
me.
All right. So you guys are all working on this sort of together, and as you dig this hole, this grave with which to bury the remains of Zeet, you'll notice that parts of his, his body seem to have almost recovered a bit. Not in the sense that he's still alive, very much still dead, but the wound where his chest was seems to have healed over a little bit, as if it were being, cleaned and dressed for a proper burial. The scratch marks and the claw marks seem to have been not healed perfectly. You can still see the scars, but they're in that scarring state rather than that fresh state. And in general, it seems a lot less grisly and grim to look upon him as he is placed into this newly dug grave.
When that's all done, Jason will stand up and he'll look at the assembled party and say, "Anyone want to say?" And I don't know why we became what the fuck that was. Anyone want to say any last words?
Ah, Fizz, do you want to go last?
1 second.
Because I think I have some words that I could say.
Okay. I didn't know you knew ZZ, but okay.
I very briefly, the last 5 minutes or so. But he must have been a good guy, because you like him. So, I hope he rests well. And I hope we can help him properly by fixing Jurgle. That's all.
I hope so too. I'm really sorry, ZT. I made poor choices I made you come all the way out here to play hide and seek. And, well, we did do a lot of hiding. And God, this is really hard. You were probably best friend I had ever had. I knew that you were always worried about me, worried about the trouble I'd get in, and the silly things that I would do all the time. So you felt the need to watch me. But I think, finally, I don't need to be watched anymore. Thank you for everything you did for me. And, I hope that you have a good, long rest here. And that you won't have to worry about anything else again. Not about me, not about a monster, or about our Warren. And instead, you can just rest. Okay, buddy?
Augustus will put a blue hand on his shoulder and give it a little squeeze. And then he'll clear his throat and say, Astramus, receive and give rest unto this soul of Zit, and forever place him in a place of refreshment, eternal peace and repose, where there is no more pain or sorrow or suffering. For every failure in sin and transgression, let him be forgiven. So it is and shall be. And then he makes a little sign on over the grave.
Jason will wait for Benson
Thank
to do
you.
anything before he does his own last rites.
He is a cleric, so.
Yeah, and Benson's a paladin.
And Benson is a paladin.
Benson will follow
That's
that.
right.
He'll close his eyes and put his hand over the symbol of Lathendar, and he will say,
Yeah, brothers, we see our brother's path come to an end. He too eclipses the horizon, and yet his path does not end. His path begins again, wherever he may go. Lathandar, protect him.
When Benson finishes his up, Jason will take the copy of the sea stone knife that's around his neck, the one that supposedly belonged to Baylor at some point. And he will do a little cut on his hand, and he'll sprinkle some. He'll put 2 coins into the palm, and sprinkle a little bit of salt and sort of mix that together before dropping the stained and salted coins onto the grave. He'll say, "May this offering buy you safe passage through the water, through the spiritual waters, and may no evil spirit bar your way to the afterlife."
As the last of the last rites are carried out, and the last of the last words are said, the sand, the earth that has been disturbed in this area seems to slowly pool itself over the body that has been rested. It's as if forming a natural burial mound, smoothed over before you all have a chance to dress the grave site, per se. Perhaps in response to what it is you have all said.
I guess we look around now. I gotta find my
Fizz
Trodates.
is gonna linger around Zeet's gravesite, even if it's not really observable as a gravesite anymore. He kind of just like he's gonna get down on all fours, kind of touching the stone where he presumably is buried underneath if he still exists.
You're looking at it, or are you actually trying to touch it?
Yeah, he's touching it.
Okay. Just like taking a bit longer, thinking about.
Yeah. Just thinking about it as he just kind of feels the stone and, you know, lingering on his friend.
After a respectful amount of time, Jason will again touch Fizz's shoulder and say, "Remember, lad, we're sent here to move on."
I have a weird
Yeah,
question.
okay, I understand.
Is there a ceiling visible?
It's a cave.
Yeah, it's like a cavern, kind of a low hanging cavern. Augustius, as you and the rest of the party seem to be making their moves to leave the little alcove, you'll hear a familiar voice call out from the west. "Little blue one!" It's none other than the bandit man you had dispensed with in your rage, the one that you spoke of. This time he appears unarmed, with plenty of wounds visible upon his person. You're surprised the man can even speak, can even see, but he seems to stare back at you with a much mulched face from your morning star.
Augustius approaches him, but he like forces himself to keep his hands at his side and not just to grab his weapon. You've seen better days.
For a moment, he seems to look past you, look over you at the wreckage of the stone table that looks an awful lot like his table. And then he smirks to himself just a little bit and looks back at you with a more stoic expression and says, "I've been sent to tell you to carry on."
Augustius nods his head. That is why we are here.
The man extends an arm slightly with a clearly broken index finger dangling in an angle that possibly points directly at you. And he says, "We'll settle this score, but I have a long time to wait."
Are you gonna harbor a grudge that long?
The man simply grins a little bit, but not in a malevolent sense. It's like a genuine amusement grin. And he begins to trudge off in a different direction than which he came.
bastard. Augustus says, I'm not in like a like hateful, it's just like fool, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Augustus turns and looks around. What of her, I wonder? Did she let go? I suppose that's between her and Astramus at this point. Because we haven't seen her really. She just disappeared.
Yeah, you haven't seen her in this area.
Yeah. But the bandit guy seems to have accepted. So.
Something tells me we didn't satisfy your trial all the way.
Well, I'm rather unsure what to do at this point. I came in willing to do exactly as had transpired and accept what had happened. But it seems that Fizz and I have had some sort of, well, dreadful amalgamation of trials.
Has anything about the room changed since we buried Zitzi?
It seems the terrain has gotten a touch more uneven towards the far end of the lower right end of the room.
Like there?
Yeah, just in that general area.
Do I notice anything in particular walking around? Over
Yeah, if you take 2 paces back, there's a decided warmth, a heat even, uncomfortable as you get closer to that location. Its source cannot immediately be identified.
It's very hot over here. Is it magic?
Oh yes, Schultz. This unseen heat is incredibly magical.
I don't like the way you said that.
Fizz is gonna walk over and he's gonna try a perception check to see if he can figure out what the source of this heat is.
It seems to be radiating from a point just past shoulder. It's enough to cause a bird to sweat if birds could sweat. Yeah,
What's going on?
As you're getting you're getting so close to it, it's like it's like the baking sun of the desert. But
yeah,
just
but where at though?
Yeah, right there.
Right where, yeah, pretty much right where I'm standing.
So I can't see anything. It's right there.
Yeah, it's just right there.
Yeah, it's just hot.
It's really like uncomfortably warm.
There's magical heat radiating from right there. And they'll point at it.
This Fizz is going to continue to try to get closer.
You're as close as you can be right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I really don't think you want to.
I go through the floor.
The warmth seems to be growing. It's actually something that even Augustius can start to feel now. And it's not the usual dry heat that you would associate with a desert locale. Instead, something a lot more sweat-inducing.
Shoulder's gonna check on his skull to see if anything's going on with Spencer.
You look through the skull and, examine it, and the good old Pencer here seems to be flickering as if, in the presence of something soulful, but nothing that would tell you any other information other than a thing with a soul is nearby. A new thing with a soul is nearby.
Something's definitely here. And by something, I mean something living with a soul, I guess. I really don't like sand or this place in general.
Here?
You're getting very close to an incredibly warm, hot, uncomfortably hot object. Or presence, Augustius.
I wish I had a level 2 spell slot to cast See Invisibility. Made this whole thing really tricky.
Yeah, Augustius doesn't have anything to see it.
Yeah, well, I spent my last level 2 spell slot.
Oh shit.
Fizz is invisible.
Jason's initiated the BRP train.
The BRP.
Good timing.
Yeah, I also got a BRP. I was waiting for a cliffhanger moment, but this is okay.
Shit.
Tea time.
Tea
What
time.
the hell? He just went pee. DM just left.
Yeah.
Yep.
What do?
Quick, everybody start saying things that will get the stream strict on YouTube.
No.
Oh, shit, you can't do that.
In Alabama. Never mind.
I'm glad that
I'm so glad.
Balathal spoke so loud that all I could hear was Alabama. So
I'm so glad you know what that is.
Of course I know what it is. Of course I know. Oh, how could I not know? It's in my blood, if you will.
Guesses for what the source of the heat is?
fireball.
I don't think so.
We're all about to die.
Again.
Yeah, except when you're double dead, you don't get to come back.
It's a fireball at night.
What?
What's that one SpongeBob meme? Never mind.
I watched
Yeah.
SpongeBob along.
What I really want to do is be able to enlarge the source of the heat. But one, I can't see it until I don't have a second level spell slot. Anyway, BRP.
Okay. Boom.
tried to find my MySpace reaction when my Discord crashed and restarted.
We may.
Welcome back.
Thanks, homie.
Welcome.
All right, I'm back.
We may.
Welcome back.
You.
Are we missing anyone besides Lucy?
You see?
Oh.
Uh,
He's the
see.
source of the heat.
Alexander, you here?
Nah, he's peeing.
Of course. Mithridates lit something on fire.
Ah, he's exploding in the ground.
That was always the way he tried to like calm us down. I mean, you don't know that, but the first session, we were like fighting, like we were having our party fight or whatever, because I pissed Jason off. Go figure. One of my characters pissed one of Chandler's characters off, and he came into the room that we were like fighting / arguing in, and he just fucking lit a fucking cabinet on fire and didn't refuse to elaborate further.
Yeah, that really pissed off the people inside the tavern.
I didn't know he was a secret arsonist.
Burn Trinity Sanders.
Burn
I don't know what he just said, but
Burn Tridites Sanders instead
Burn
of burning-
Tridites. Yep.
I don't know. That didn't really make sense, but I understand. Yo entiendo.
That's what.
I was asking people if they have guesses for what the source of the heat is. And
Okay.
of course, Ahmed goes, it's a fireball. And I was like, oh, so we're all about to die.
Well, you also don't know about the fireball antics we had to deal with fucking one of our sessions. Like, I mean, you've been told that you weren't there when we were like leaving a cave, much
Yeah.
like this cave.
You guys
And
were
we
all
got
grouped
fucking-
up perfectly
Yeah,
for a
we were all
fireball.
grouped up perfectly for a fireball.
And like when I had him cast it, I was like, oh, he's only gonna hit like one guy, and then everybody decided to move to group up.
So this is also probably a fireball.
Don't forget the epic. You are safe now, brother.
Yeah.
Actually, I like the
Shielded his
idea
brother.
that because Kenku Memory, I can roll a history check with advantage, and I got a fucking nat 20. and I can maybe Shoulder will remember the fireball and take a few steps back.
Amazing.
Yeah,
But
I
what's
like how
happening
This is
is
going
the
to continue
light.
to stand in the heat.
anything where it's like I do like that the game has just concluded that anything I roll that involves some kind of memory check for me is just instant gigapass.
Yeah,
Like
that
I had
seems to
that
be the case.
investigation skill check that was that I was trying to base off of like the memory of what was the room, and I got an 18 on that, and then I just rolled 2 history checks and I got a 17 and a nat 20.
Yeah. The game knows your character.
Yeah. I wish I knew my character.
Hello, I'm back.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Hi.
Right, Keen?
Bye.
Oh,
Very
bye.
cool.
He's gone. That's it.
Bye.
Bye.
It's over.
It's over.
Put you over.
You all watch as Augustius disappears in front of you.
That's right.
In
And
this
it's just
place
in
is
thin
that
air.
guy who said he would settle his score.
I need the Bills to lose by 3 or less or win the game, and I get $150.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Generate
They're currently down by 15, so I don't know if that's gonna work. But whatever.
Ah, they'll figure
It was
it
a
out.
five.
We
It
win
was a
these.
$5 bet. So
You took the long odds.
I hit all of the longest odds. It's this one that was supposed to be the easy odds that are fucked. But they've got a little bit of time. They'll figure it out. I already hit a short bet that gave me like $50, so I'm in the green regardless. My dad, however, he is not in the green.
Well, he's dead.
I take it that means you've peed.
I think everybody's peed. Everybody's.
That's not a sentence. You didn't say that.
He did. He said it.
He sure did.
So I heard that the kobolds are staying in the baking, blazing heat, and Shoulder takes steps back, but doesn't say why.
No. Yeah, Justice does not want to. He's uncomfortable. It's not fun. He's backing up.
How high is the ceiling?
I don't know, like 20 feet, maybe? 15, 20 feet? It's not like uniform in height. It's like a bunch of...
Alright, how high can I get up from this spot right here if I happen to become a flying bird?
Oh, yeah. Levitate. You can get up 15 feet comfortably.
Beautiful. I'm as far away from this fireball as I will ever be.
All right. And what's Jason doing
But
now that the party is responding?
Why would there be a fireball here? I'm very confused.
No worries.
Oh,
Just PTSD.
refresh me on what happened. We
Just
also
not sharing
are
with the
coming from over here.
Of all the things we faced so
Not light,
far,
it's heat.
we have yet to fight the ghost of Heron Call.
Oh, dude, Bill scored
That's
down
because
8.
his soul was
We have
fed the
life.
Umberly.
We have life.
This area here, Shambler, is
And-
really hot. Like the area in
Okay.
general is very hot.
Jason stays where he is.
Yeah, Shoulder has trauma. I also like that the 2 kobolds who have never seen Shoulder fly are just not.
They
batting
haven't.
an eyelash.
They're busy looking at the heat source. They
I
haven't
guess
Fizz
looked-
is not
probably-
looking.
Yeah, Fizz
Yeah.
is.
Wait, you can fly?
He's got the boots of Heron Call. He levitates.
Oh yeah, those boots, didn't they make me fly? And it was really weird, and I gave them them.
Yeah, I became a flying. bird.
Yeah, Benson needed to use his rope to rope you back down. And you said,
so-
give him to the bird. It was before you developed your
Jason
accent.
wasn't. Give him to the damn barda.
I really wanted the kobolds to look at me and be like, he flies now?
Bird Lord.
He flies now.
No,
accent was
nobody
the
would
gift
ever
from
say that.
Umberly.
Not even in a Star Wars movie.
What a stupid line.
Mom watched all of those movies lately, and I was like,
She texted me and I felt really bad for her.
she's not a fan of the new 3, to say the least.
Somehow.
Very few
Palpatine
people
returned.
are, I feel like.
You're not a fan of the new 3? That's kind of like the old 3, but way worse.
Something about it
Like
being way
shitty clones
worse.
of the old 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Something about it being way worse.
The new 3 makes the 3 prequels look like solid gold.
So true. That's way worse.
This is kind of good banter, isn't it? Never really sat well with
That's retarded.
me. Well, you said they were like the old
that,
3.
that one really got me. That's good.
Got him.
What the fuck?
Is Benson doing anything with the heat in response to the heat? I think you're the only one we haven't accounted for yet, Benson.
Let's see. So I guess is it getting progressively hotter inside this area that we're already in?
Yeah, but it's more like the closer you are to where like Fizz is and like past Augustius is going to be hotter and seems to be slightly intensifying. It's just like you're suddenly sweating a lot more than like you would expect to in the dry heat by comparison, you know?
It's like if I step towards him, is it like noticeably
Yes,
hotter than
yes.
one step ago?
Yep. Each step carries with it like significantly more warmth and heat. And now, like if you were to take another step as you did, it's like actually like you're worried about getting burnt or something. Like you're walking into almost into an open flame.
I will get as close to Fizz as I can, and I will sit next to him and I will say, "Brother, I am no stranger to the heat of the day, to the fury of the sun. I shall sit with you and endure it, as long as it takes."
What?
Oh,
Are you two numbskulls sitting in the blazing heat when you could not?
you wouldn't understand, Augustius.
I suppose not.
A brother should never suffer alone.
Thank you, Benson.
You swear you can hear a faint huffing. Maybe speech? Very indistinct. But the first two pairs of ears to hear it will be Fizz's and Benson's based on their proximity to this blazing heat.
This is going to try.
Oh, you cut out. Fizz is going to try what?
To listen very hard.
Ah, all right. Let's get that perception.
As you go to listen, Benson will say, "Do you hear that, brother? Even the heat says that a man should not suffer alone, for a path walked together is a path walked well."
Quiet, I'm trying to listen.
I was really waiting for the. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I followed your path and now I ended up dead.
Fizz, can you please roll again because this will be your disadvantage roll because everybody is talking while you're trying to listen.
That's literally why he's saying. Like,
That's exactly what happened.
14.
14. There you go. Not bad. All right. Fizz. you can you actually almost, it's really hard to hear over everybody else, but you almost swear you recognize this huffing and this puffing and the tenor of the voice. You swear you can make out the words, "The rest of you, closer."
Everyone's going to
it's
see
the flame knife.
his perk up, and he's smiling very widely. He's going to turn to the rest of the group and say, "Everyone into the heat now!"
It's fucking flame knives. It's
I would rather you explain why first.
Shoulder has innate
been
trust into Fizz. And
You've been told?
Yes, I have been told. Very important.
By
You wouldn't understand, Augustius. By
right.
someone very important. Now get in here.
Augustus looks at the group like they're a bunch of insane psychopaths. So basically, as he always does,
Come on,
and
Augustus.
takes a step forward.
Jason leaps into the heat. Just running past Augustius and just jumping.
I like the idea that everyone's standing and Shoulder is still just hovering.
Yeah, you're hovering over
it. Technically, I should be hotter because heat rises.
For some reason, Shoulder, this heat doesn't seem to be rising.
Lame.
Magical
So is Augustius also getting closer?
Do I take
mechanics about radius.
Yeah, he stepped closer.
Yeah, you gotta get closer though. You're not close enough. You gotta get right in
Yeah, that's
between
not close enough.
the sweaty Benson
Here, Augustius.
Shambler.
I'm surprised you haven't put together what's happening.
What an asshole.
What a way to say it, too. That's really good.
What an ass.
Augustus narrows his eyes.
I know you like just totally like help me deal with like my dead best friend and all that, but like
Yeah.
You're an idiot. You're a
Yeah.
fucking moron.
That was really good.
Look, he's got more than one best friend, okay?
you're like totally replaceable.
Augustus is not happy with this new asshole Fizz.
You're just like
There are at least 3 candidates, by the way.
Fizz looks at you and he's just
That's
like,
3.
I will imagine Benson as my brother again.
I would never imagine you as my brother. You're blue.
Augustus wants to kill himself. Screw this divine mission. If I gotta put up with these assholes, it's not worth it.
Augustus has wanted to kill himself for 4 sessions. That's nothing new. This isn't new.
Yeah, every session he's like, yeah, man, eternal damnation. That would mean peace. Away from these people.
Dude, I can't wait. I really hope, like, if Augustius dies accidentally, I really hope that he ends up in hell, and it's just
It's just a
him with us
continuation
four.
of the campaign, yeah.
And he, like, the entire time he's just in hell, like, did I really die?
He talks to he talks to his god, and his god is just like, I cannot believe I must condemn you to hell. Well, at least it's familiar to you. And then he just leaves. And you're still there exactly with these points.
Yep.
He ends up right back when we first met Telthane.
Yeah, it's perfect. Oh, speaking of, the voice seems to manifest, and indeed the heat is now given a form. It is the blazing warmth that you associate with Telthane, whose fire, his mane, did not traditionally give off such intense heat, but yet here you are, suffering from its effects. And Telthane utters, "We need to go."
Yes, we do. But before we do, would you please illuminate us as to why you didn't show your ugly equine face beforehand?
He's really mean. Oh, hello. He'll say, as
Because there
assuming
are
Delphine looks
trials
up
and
to
not his,
see him.
maybe? It is not the one who needs bodies. Twice?
Telthane seems to ignore just about everybody.
That's good. That's good for Delphine.
Lame.
You have been sorely missed, brother. I'm glad we are moving on from
Wait.
whatever this is.
Wait. Fizz, your turret bonus. Dude, you can get on me and I can just levitate. Holy shit.
Oh. It's true.
Dude,
Double
your plus to
high
hit would be like plus 10.
But does Shoulder know this?
Well,
Oh my.
if you don't think that Shoulder would remember that he can levitate and then be like, dude, I love when Fizz is on my back. Let me levitate with him. That would be hilarious.
If I can secretly, like, during the rest, Shoulder is holding up the skull of Pincer and he's like, tell me about cliff advantage.
It's just Jurgle just pops out of the skull and it's just like, how are you alive? Height advantage, bro. All right. When we get back, Shoulder will slowly float to the ground.
Shoulder, you're already on the ground. Something about the transformation seems to have rooted you in place.
Aw.
Not like you can't move, just that you were on the ground when you landed. When you
I don't
teleported.
find
Your feet are the floor now.
That's right.
You cannot move.
Yeah, I accidentally
Actually,
just
you
noted
have
that-
horses' hooves. It's very awkward for you to walk.
Telthane takes a few strides backwards and says, "There is someone who would see you."
Is it Kyle?
That's all he can think about.
Did he really miss his Kyle?
I don't think it's Kyle, probably.
Dude, all this Kyle talk, what if it was Gokag?
I'd rock with
That would make more sense.
It would make much more sense. But he's worried that Kyle died, so.
Yeah, I can't believe we just forgot about Gokag. He was like the inciting mystery of this whole thing.
Go Kyle? Kyle?
Who was Gokag?
Kyle Cat?
He's an orc.
He hasn't
Kyle
even.
Cat.
That was
Yeah, I don't think the
kidnapped
two
at
of
the
you
start
have
of this
even found
adventure.
Gokag. The kobold.
The only orc that I remember is from the other campaign, the one that
Yeah.
Narath tried to kill or whatever.
Shoulder will step
I tried to
forward
kill an orc?
towards Telthane and say,
Oh, her.
Yeah, oh her.
Imagine, like,
Shoulder will step forward to Telthane and say, well, lead me to him, Mr. Thane.
imagine Kyle is actually dead and the only way to save him is with Gokag's soul.
Telthane
Holy
says
shit.
to Shoulder as Shoulder begins to walk away, "I already have." And then stares pointedly at the giant table, which does admittedly have a strange black fog that slowly pulls back, revealing an immense figure. One that none of you have ever seen before.
Oh, it's Jurgle. We're getting Jurgle.
Shit.
That looks like a dead god. Oh boy.
Oh no. It's Mithridates' patron.
Hello.
The enormous, bony hand of this impossibly large figure seems to gently and without response to you, close its enormous book. And then the being, with its sunken eye sockets, looks you all over, regarding you, in a way that seems to be most unsettling, as if the memories that you suddenly have flung to the forefront of your mind are not actually yours to think of, but instead this being's, living through you in a flash, all your moments, all your experiences, the good, the bad, the ones you've forgotten, every detail accounted for. As this entity examines your lived experiences, it suddenly averts its gaze back to its tome, only then to return to looking at you all, but without that sudden influx of memories, as if your thoughts are now your own again. On its side, flanked in one side by Mithridates and flanked in the other by Fred, this immense entity seems to be indeed some sort of lord of this domain, but there's an aspect to it that seems eerily incomplete. And it wordlessly looks upon you all.
Oh, Fizz is going to ask Telthane, does this mean we're gonna stay dead?
Telthane snorts at this, and then says, I do not know what this means yet.
Shoulder would like to examine this being.
Mm-hmm.
And to do his best to determine silently whether or not this may be Jurgle or some champion of Jurgle or something similar.
Right. You can do a history check, or a religion check, rather.
Thank God for guidance. Where's my 1d4?
All right. By the way, the entity had effortlessly held the tome of the dead that took much more effort for a figure of your stature to manipulate. And part of that makes you wonder whether the way in which this entity holds the book, the way that it is capable of doing so based on its proportions, and its mastery over the mind, or at the very least over the memories, it's clearly an agent of the realm. Whether it's the master of it is beyond your ability to determine. If this is Jurgle, it's perhaps not what you would have expected, but then few things are in this realm, and if it is a champion of Jurgles or an agent of Jurgles, while that would make sense, it does not seem to be immediately revealing itself to be that way. So, the jury is out.
Shoulder will pull out the skull of Pencer, looking at, like, almost trying to show it to the being in front of him, and having a small bow. He's really not quite sure what to do with himself. Just because he's not sure of who this is, he will go, are you who I think you are?
The entity locks eye sockets with you, Shoulder, and the same thoughts that you were just having of thinking perhaps this might be Jurgle, this might be the source of some of your bardic powers, even. Those thoughts flood to the forefront once again, as if you're thinking of them again, as if you're pondering them once more. And then you are free to think on your own again. But those memories, even though they were only moments old, now seem to be informing the being before you. It doesn't respond to your question, but it certainly does not deny it. Oh, shit. What's your augury for here?
Stepping forward, Jason anoints his sacred shells with salt and more of his blood again as he throws them down, seeking to find the result, the answer as to whether or not demanding the return of Mithridates will result in oblivion for the party.
So you're trying to determine that. Okay. Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I
Dude,
realize
they banged so hard.
Big money.
They what?
They scored a touchdown to make it within 8, and then the following offensive drive for the other team, the guy just fumbled it into the end zone for a touchdown, and I covered.
Big money.
I don't know what any of that means.
No, I
But
got
it
paid
sounds
$200 because I'm a
good.
degenerate gambler.
Easy money, dude.
Never in doubt, never in
Oh, so
doubt,
this
never
was a
in doubt.
good thing. You're up.
Yeah, I'm up.
Hallelujah.
All right. So you have to roll for this, or how does this? Do I just choose? What's the roll?
Okay? So by casting whatever, you would. I'm asking for essentially omen.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
For a
from the
specific course
possible
of action.
omens. Right.
Yeah.
Alright.
So I'm trying to figure out if being straightforward with what Jason wants to do is going
Right.
to result in us getting atomized again, or if it's gonna actually, work.
You
And
Oh,
to
the party
recap-
cares about being atomized now?
And to recap, he entered my mind after I asked him if he was who I thought he was, and he didn't give me a straight answer.
He
just
didn't say
kinda-
anything. Yeah. The creature has not. The entity has not said a thing to any of you. But it's just examining you silently. And so, but it did not. That did not spark a response from it, and it did not do a message or anything to you or anything like that.
I would like to message this creature.
All right. Well, you'll have to wait a second because Jason's
Okay.
augury. Jason waits for patiently for a sign from whatever divine spark might exist within this realm. When none comes, you must assume that nothing especially significant will transpire from such a request.
All right, then stepping forward, Jason will say, "For what purpose do you hold our friend in captivity?" And he'll point at the suspended Mithridates. He gives no shits about the frog.
The entity then pivots its face, its visage, to stare into you with its impossibly deep, sunken eye sockets. For a moment, your memories invoke the cabin that you had just visited before it had transformed into some desert wasteland, but then you see things from an angle you hadn't seen before, and you even see your bull self charging towards the Wendigo. In the process, you seem to be able to put together that this is not a memory of yours, but instead of Mithridates, who had attempted to join with the party in fighting and combating this creature, only to find himself stepped into a strange portal. Through Mithridates' eyes, you bear witness to an immense and ever-growing morass, a mountain of ruby-colored flesh that sprawls out from the horizon. Its divots and raises very similar to a peak and a trough, a valley and an apex, but born of organic materials that breathe, that exude. Mithridates' eyes are cast down for a moment. They look to the ground that he stands on, and he recoils visibly, seeing that the realm he has been transported to, rather than having dirt and grass and stone, it's bone, blood, and flesh, skin wrapped over, strangely aberrant, moving elements. Everything organic, everything natural seems hideously unnatural and transfigured. A strange facsimile of what might be a more pleasant scene in the material world. And then as Mithridates looks around in a panic to see only an sprawling canvas of this aberrant fleshscape, another portal shows itself, and the creature that stares you down now reaches forth to pluck Mithridates from his plight. Then your eyes return to the scene before you, as if that is to be the explanation delivered to you through this creature, but given to you through the eyes of Mithridates himself.
The party will see Jason close his eyes as if he just, and touch his temple as if he just got a massive jolt of pain, as he steps back and says,
By the gods!
He'll then look up to what is presumably Jurgle, and he'll say,
Is that what waits for all of us?
The entity does not respond, but it no longer seems to gaze directly upon you and stare you down. Its eye sockets now move to take in the whole party, as if waiting for the next one who will step forth, if one such does exist.
Shoulder will. And he will make, I suppose, eye contact, casting message, and immediately dropping to a knee and bowing his head and messaging the words, I believe you're the one I've been serving. What can I do for you?
Without moving and without looking back at you, the thought you receive back is very clearly not in response to your inquiry. It's the sound of flesh being flayed from something. And then the sound of bones breaking under pressure.
Shoulder will, like, his head will snap up in shock, and he will look back at this being and message again and say, who? He does not break eye contact with the message this time.
Are you messaging who back, or are you saying who?
Yeah, I'm messaging him back to him saying,
Okay.
who?
Now you see this entity in a slightly different light. A different angle, perhaps? It appears taller, as if it's gazing off behind you, but to your right, as opposed to your left. It's an odd perspective switch. Not what you were expecting as a response to your inquiry.
Wait, so he appears taller?
Yes, all of a sudden, the creature appears taller by some feet. A small amount. A more imposing stature, perhaps. And it seems to be gazing past your right, as opposed to your left flank.
I will quickly turn my shoulder, my head over my shoulder.
Are you also, you're trying to look to your right?
Yeah, I'm trying to look to where it's looking.
There seems to be
Like
nothing
follow its
there.
gaze.
Yeah, there seems to be nothing there. Although, as you try to follow its gaze specifically, your perspective seems to switch back to what you would expect, and you see that it's gazing at to your left flank, sort of dead in the center of the party.
What the fuck?
I think Bone Man is.
Would that be something like consistent with illusion magic?
No, it
Like
was
random perception for like.
It was it's like you were seeing him, like we're seeing it in a, as I mentioned, in a different perspective. Like it was like now you see, like it's still a very tall entity, but the entity isn't as tall as it appeared before, and it seems to be looking the same place that it had been looking. But it's like before, when you asked it who, that was what was shown to you. It was a different angle upon itself, like being seen from a different perspective.
Oh, so my perspective of it, like I was looking out of someone else's eyes, basically.
Yeah, you could call it that.
And that they were looking over where I was seeing it from was the creature was looking over my right shoulder.
Right, but then when you
So,
broke the message, sort of you broke the gaze, it looked like it was looking over to your left flank.
So in theory, I was looking from over here.
Plausible, yeah.
Shoulder will message back again, saying, Augustius or Benson?
There's an erratic...
Augustius.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No. Augustius, despite being cleric, has about had his fill with deities or entities like deities. This thing isn't speaking, and that really irritates him. It's just being creepy as hell, and messing with people's minds. So he's just gonna pretend the damn thing doesn't exist. He's just gonna ignore it until it speaks or does something, because it's not gonna respond. It's not gonna answer him. So he ain't doing nothing.
Does that mean you're like turning to the party and doing something about it, or?
Yeah. He's just kind of looking at the horse, the fire horse.
Yep.
I will say this probably doesn't change anything you're doing. I believe we went over that message is fairly visible. Like if you're looking for it.
The message?
Like, basically, if you're paying attention, you would see that Shoulder is like actively engaged in some kind of conversation, like psychic conversation.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah, I believe we discussed that.
You also saw Jason ask a question. Looked like he went in physical pain, step backwards, and then ask a follow-up. So there's clearly interaction.
Yeah, but Gus's don't want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. And that's what I mean. It's like, it's not public interaction, so it doesn't actually matter to Augustus. Yeah, that's also what I was saying.
Yeah. He's just like, I don't want nothing to do with it. You guys can ask the big giant skeleton thing question.
yeah, in response to Shoulder's inquiry about it being Augustius or Benson, you'll see another angle, far different than before. The creature's backside, his left flank, is visible, and as in doing so, in making itself visible, it appears to be about as tall as it was before, but closer. The viewport appears closer to the immense entity. And from this you can see enormous bony protrusions along the back, as if they were ridges or some sort of connective tissue, but lacking the flesh to connect them.
Okay. So it needs flesh and bone to connect its flank together. And it wanted the flesh of either Augustius or Benson, possibly. But when my first viewpoint changed, it must have been being seen through Augustius's eyes, because it was lower and it appeared taller, and Augustius is shorter than me, I think. Augustius, how tall are you?
It's like a little bit over 3 feet.
So yeah, shorter than me. So that's why he appeared taller.
Yeah, but remember what you asked? Like, the sound of flesh being torn and the bones being broken was before. That was the first thing. Then you asked who.
I asked what I could do, and then
you just said who. Like, you said who is what you asked.
Yeah.
And then it showed you itself.
It wants you to kill a part of itself. Or whatever the fuck rending flesh sound means.
What did I take from?
Or it's saying that the flesh has been rended from it and needs to restore it.
What pieces have I gotten from our trials? I got a heart, right?
Yep.
Did I get anything else?
Oh. That sounded like a cat, but I think that was a sneeze.
That definitely sounded like a cat.
You got a cat.
So I got a heart. I didn't think I got anything else, right? Or did I get one other thing? It's been so long.
No, yeah, you've only gotten the heart and the skull of Pencer. The heart of Baelor.
Okay. So it just needs flesh. And it just told me that it needed flesh or something. It needs something for itself, either killed of itself or whatever. And it decided to tell me that by showing me a different picture of it at first, which is fine.
It makes sense from perspective.
Shoulder will ask this time aloud, kind of like taking a step forward with the intention of climbing onto the table. I don't know how to get you what you need right now, but do you want the heart of Baelor? And he will hold up the skull of Pencer before attempting to climb the table, assuming he is not stopped by any mental images.
As you make ready to climb the table, it seems to, like, you're stepping towards it, and it's as if you're stepping on an invisible set of stairs that simply guide you above, eventually depositing you on the table itself.
I'm gonna take that as a yes. If it's not clear, Shoulder is probably like shaking in excitement and fear and anxiety and thrill and all of those emotions, because for all he knows, this is probably the god that he's been really trying to help. And he's not sure if helping him is the right idea, but, you know, he's been given all these cool powers because of it, so he really wants to honor the deal at least. And he doesn't know if he's going to die by doing this. But he's also just excited to meet, possibly, Jurgle. So he will approach and probably, like, he'll put, like, the skull of Pencer and, like, you know how, like, people, like, put their, like, cup their hands together to offer something in their palms?
Right, yeah.
He'll like put the skull of Pencer facing towards the creature and like bow his head while holding up the skull and say, here you go.
For the first time since the entity had initially beheld all of you, it stirs physically. One arm raising and one hand approaching the offered skull. One finger, really, pointing directly at it. The size discrepancy on full display as just the tip of this bony finger is the size of most of Shoulder. And in doing so, with this gesture, the skull of Pencer lights up like never before seen illumination. And as it glows, it seems to vibrate in the hands of Shoulder, levitating just an inch or so out off of the Birdman's palm, and a slight beam of necrotic energy pulses out of the skull, the cranial part of the area, and seems to manifest in the similar way to how it initially stored this heart of Baelor Valentis. The organ begins to pulsate as if it's beating, as if it's throbbing with blood flowing within it. And the great skeletal figure presses the tip of its enormous finger against this icon of undeath. And that same green pulsating light seems to almost wreathe the fingertip, and then the hand, and then the arm, and then the entire form in spectral light as the heart seems to vanish, but depositing with it its flickering energy. Now wreathed in this strange glow, the skeletal figure pushes its hand in a different direction. To the surprise of the party, there's going to be a sudden display of light directly to their left flank. Magic seems to spark, animate. It's a blue light, not a green one. Something resembling more conventional arcane energies. And through this sphere of power, of arcane form, the first thing that you'll sense is actually the sound of a forest-scape. The faint tweeting of birds, the occasional chants of an insect. And then you'll be able to see through it faintly, like a shimmer, an illusion of sorts that is often made from heat atop a surface. Yet it's undoubtedly a familiar-looking forest. Perhaps not far from where you were brought to ash by the fell god.
Shoulder is going to shudder, and he's like almost like scrambling back, like pushing himself with his hands before standing up and going, oh my god, it's my god, hi. And then he'll wait for a response that will likely never come. He is clearly frozen in like awe, basically.
So there's so
he's resurrecting.
There's a
All right,
portal to the
so-
west that it seems to be. There's like it's like the sight and sound of the forest around Sestan.
Yeah, so stepping forward, Jason will say, and pointing again to Mithridates, will say, "Alrighty then, send them down so he can come with us."
The
Hey,
entity.
does this mean I don't get to meet Sovereign?
The entity looks over towards Jason. You brace yourself, presumably, for any sort of mental onslaught that may come, but instead you see Mithridates sort of hover a little bit closer to the table and then eventually seemingly regain his footing and perhaps his consciousness as he lets out a shudder and immediately begins to look around.
All right. Satisfied, Jason will turn to the portal and turn to the rest of the party, say, "Well, lads, I think it's time we go on home now."
You're making your choice so easily, Telthane mutters.
Whirling around, Jason will say, "What else is there to do?"
Perhaps on cue, another finger is lifted by the great entity. This time pointed
Oh my god.
almost directly upon you, Shoulder, but then you realize it's slightly off center. And another magical portal opens up behind Jason.
Is this what I think it is?
Something in the area is quite imposing. Deep within the bowels of some cavern or cave, under the grounds of any such forest you might find yourself in, you hear the faint howling of the Ibanar Cavern. And perhaps the sound of faint chittering.
Buddy. Can I discern any of those words?
I think you're a little,
Yeah.
you're a little off balance, man.
Yeah. Fuck. Alright. So Shoulder's gonna ask some questions. I'm saying this out of character. He's gonna ask some questions and he's diving headfirst into that portal with the chittering. So you guys make your decision.
I don't know what Jason would do right now.
I mean like headfirst.
You can't resist Spider-Man.
Bro, he hasn't seen his spiders in so long. If that's Kyle, holy shit. I think so. Actually, I think like the faint chittering will, like obviously he'll be off balance, but it'll like snap him out of his awestruckness, and he will look at what is definitely Jurgle now in his mind, and he will message him and say, "Is there anything else you need of me?" And I have a follow-up question when you answer that one.
It seems there is no answer exactly.
With a follow-up message, he will say, "Oh, so I heard the chittering of my faithful companions. Would that happen to include Kyle? Or is he somewhere in this realm?" He's got to make sure.
while you wait for another answer, there's a different sound. This one from a different angle. The other portal, in fact. It's a human voice. It's one that Benson would likely recognize first, but many of the party will be familiar with it. Sounds as if the paladins that followed the Order of Lathandar were striking off into the forest. And one of them, perhaps Arkin, perhaps Kerald, likely not Bree, has one single cry of, "Hold! There's an orc there."
Oh, no. How could you do this? Fuck. Fuck.
Got him.
His soul.
He knew what
is
your
crushed.
choice would be if he didn't put something on the other end.
Oh, you suck, you suck, you suck, you suck, you suck. Oh, what the fuck? Alright, this will depend on the response. My decision depends on the response.
No, we lost 3 Crow.
Yeah, he's sleep crow.
I think he's sleeping. Oh, wait, where is he? Oh yeah, he's in the slumber shack, dude. Even though he's named
So
himself Luciferius.
Nice. So one portal leads us to the forest outside the town, and one leads us to a cave.
That's right.
Cave has the spiders. The forest has Gokag.
And the paladins. But, you know, I think the one that would care about them the most is Benson, and he's AFK.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time for epic cliffhanger time.
I honestly, I'm
No,
thinking,
no,
I'm thinking,
no.
I kind of think it was gonna have to be because Mithridates also isn't here to make this important decision with the party.
Yeah.
But with Benson also being fucking gone.
Yeah.
Can I at least hear the answer to my question?
What was the
with
question you were gonna ask?
It was is Kyle in the portal
Oh.
with the chittering?
Right. I did.
Or is he in the land?
Yeah.
Oh, he's definitely in the chittering.
Kyle is a campaign victory, like, reward. So you go through the entire campaign, then you get to pet Kyle.
You get,
Like
yeah,
that
you get
thing,
to
yeah.
spend time with Kyle for time immemorial.
Oh, is Fishjaw dead?
You might be with the chittering.
My favorite melee weapon.
So, all right. Here's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
If Kyle is in the portal with the chittering, which I'm assuming he is, but if he is, Shoulder is going to turn around and beg all of you harder than he's ever begged before to go through the portal with Gokag, because he recognizes the original 3. Right, the other original 3.
The paladins and the cleric.
Yeah, and the paladins and the cleric and Gokag. And he's going to beg them to bring them back to Sestan while Shoulder collects the spiders with whoever comes with him, if anyone does.
Shoulder is begging them to
and
split the party.
He will meet you at Sestan, and he's like, this is like, again, if Kyle is with the chittering,
So
he will, like,
practically speaking, you're gonna play as Gokag for a bit.
maybe, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I'm pretty sure 90% of the party is gonna go into the forest portal.
And that's if it's not something that is just like, like time looped or whatever, like time lapse.
Okay, so my question is, like, we're still dead, right?
No, if we go through
We're
if we go
gonna
through
be
the portals,
resurrected.
we're resurrected. It just depends on where we are. So the forest is where we died with the paladins who went looking after us and Gokag. And the other one is all my spiders.
Okay, help
I
me
guess
figure
Alexander
out.
could ask, since we still have his question to be answered, or Balethol for that matter. Either could ask if we're gonna get new bodies from this, since it's kind of doing like a genie, one question each sort of thing.
Well, I was Like, I thought we would have to do more to get resurrected. I thought there was more
No,
to do.
most of it was done before you guys joined.
Oh, okay.
Well, as far as I understand, it was just the trials, right?
Yeah, it was the trials. An hour for like the original 4, 2 of them were already done. And
So why did we have to do them?
we had to get his heart back to
Make up Jurgle.
That's apparently what
Yes.
reconstructs our body somehow.
and also reconstruct
Well-
the miracle.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
Well,
a
Yeah,
lot
if,
of
so if you
character-
guys remember all the way back to when Telthane was giving you the lowdown on being dead, and he was surprised that this is the first time you guys were dead, he said that to reconstruct your bodies, you would need to partially reconstruct Jurgle, but if you did too much to reconstruct Jurgle, you could result in your spirits being, like, immediately... Like, you wouldn't be reborn anymore, because Jurgle would say, oh, you're dead, now I can sort you. So Jurgle had to be maintained in a state that wasn't fully operational, so that you could continue your mission, but just enough juice and just enough power to get you back into the living world. So it's like Jurgle is a tool more than an entity,
we
right?
have a good middle ground right
Yeah,
now.
that's basically what you guys were supposed to do. And so the trials were, according to Telthane and according to the rest of the party, just sort of based on their observations, the trials were these things that restored a part of you, but also in some way restored a part of the realm. And Jurgle's realm was in massive shattered disarray for some reason. And so rebuilding a part of it was part of your goal, essentially.
Oh, okay. I got you. That makes more sense now. I'm like, we ain't did nothing. We ain't helped no god. All we did was help ourselves. Move on.
All right.
And thank God Fred the
So-
Frog is staying with Jurgle.
So Kyle,
Yeah, Augustus is just glad to be away from, gods. Like, they all kind of are not overly helpful, honestly. They're just not really not.
Atheist
Uh, No, he's definitely not. He's just like, these gods in particular, not particularly helpful,
Dude.
kind of abrasive.
Alexander goes on his
No.
deicide arc. I
you
will
guys
kill
have
all the
no
gods.
fucking idea.
I just want to kill him.
This entire thing, Shoulder has just felt so verified. Because like this entire time, he's like, "Is Jurgle even real? Who the fuck am I serving? No one knows who this fucking guy is. I heard a name. That's all. Everyone else gets to see their gods, but I can't see mine."
Well, I mean, the kobold hasn't seen his yet.
Yeah, but
Jason
that's-
doesn't want to see his.
No, I bet he
but
doesn't.
We've seen,
I bet
we've
he
seen
doesn't.
influence of Jason's god. We've literally seen Augustius's and Benson's god,
Yeah.
and Mithridates.
You see Jason bribe
we
his
we
god.
met Mithridates' patron, so it's
Augustus is hoping that his deity will be more affable
yes.
when he's alive. That would, less like, because then he doesn't, the god doesn't feel compelled to just appear, like, I'm here,
Yeah.
It doesn't take him away from whatever he's doing here, because one kobold out of however many kobolds are here in the afterlife, or purgatory that could pray to him, I think it's really funny. I'm just imagining like other kobolds praying to Salius, and like every single one of them, he's constantly just teleporting around
Yeah.
to each individual one
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah,
And that's why he's pissed off and grumpy. Yeah, exactly. Like, stop! Stop, please!
And that's
No
exactly why we have to do you don't remember him being so abrasive when he would enigmatically answer your prayers in the material world. So
Yeah, exactly.
why has he been such an asshole here? You know what I mean?
Yeah, why is he so snippy?
Yeah. So
All right.
So, your answer, Shoulder, about whether Kyle is with the Chittering or in this realm comes in the form of a very prolonged sort of response. It's stillness sets into the entity, and then it very suddenly locks eye sockets with you. And
Find out next episode.
And rather than seeing, the entity from a different from a different angle or something like that, something more closer and local, you see the glittering scales of some sizable creature from a fairly upraised position, and enormous mandibles and enormous legs, limbs, and a dusty, sandy, sort of demure landscape, one that doesn't immediately tell you anything about it. It's never a place you've seen before, but it's so clearly not within the realm of Jurgle. And then your eyes are your own again.
So Kyle's in dust and sand?
He is in an area that seems to be a lot more desert-y than any area near Sestan. And he was looking at some sizable scaled creature.
He's probably dead and in a different afterlife because he's not a human.
No, he's not dead in an afterlife. Otherwise, they would have been found by what's his name, because what's his name was able to tell that Baylor was claimed by someone else. So I don't see why he would be unable to tell that Kyle, if he was dead, was claimed by someone else. So I think Kyle
So he's alive.
is just alive and in a
Transported
weird
somewhere
place.
else.
He's probably in the Garum Wastes. That's where all the axe beaks and stuff were from. And since, Shoulder's gone, he might have fallen into the same league that the rest of the spiders were, which was with Ibnar's arms, who were getting beasts from that region.
No, but he died, though. We know that happened. Or for the
We
most
don't know
part.
that he died. Telthane was confused as to whether or not he died, and they said he's not as well.
Shoulder will look at Jurgle and he's gonna message him saying, I know you're trying to tell me, but I don't understand. May I please check the book for him?
They're gonna get fucking atomized for being...
Shoulder, the visage that you then see, the vision you then have is a very unsettling and demented one. A tall bone altar with enormous tusks the size of several men stacked atop each other protrudes from the side of a craggy mountain. One that seems to have forests not unlike those around Sestan in its distant horizon. Upon this altar, chained to the top of it, is a writhing, bleeding, moving tongue of immense size. Embedded within this unsettling vision is a request.
Okay. I understand.
Bring the tongue so I can talk to you, motherfucker. Does Telthane respond to my question?
Yes, Telthane looks to you and says, "The Gore Mountain." He huffs and says, "Well, that makes a lot of sense. I believe you will have to talk that out with the deity of this land. when you reassemble him further. It has no bearing on my plans. Not yet.
It is at this moment, Jason, that you will hear, guys, we need to get his tongue.
All right, epic cliffhanger time.
That's a great time to end the episode.
Gotcha.
Did Augustius or Fizz have anything they wanted to say? Contribute to the epic ending?
Oh no.
That's
Fizz
like,
was gonna say, but I thought he's supposed to be a bone man.
I'm going to save that for the very beginning of the session, where it's just like I do the session recap, and then I end with that from Shoulder, and then Fizz cues that one up as the... It'll be, we'll have to see what, like, Benson and Mithridates want to say in response to this, but I'll clue Mithridates into the, like, stuff that... I'll clue Luciferius into the stuff Mithridates experienced, but it was necessarily pretty limited because of the fact that he wasn't here. However, it's also, we're going to have to recap some of that for Benson since he's 3 Crow is sleep crow.
what is, like, this is just more of like a out of character concern. So how much can you share with me without spoiling? If like 90% of them, which I kind of expect, go to the forest and deal with like the Gokag Paladin situation, and Shoulder ends up going to the spiders, are we actually gonna have a party split for like a session and a half or what?
Well, it would depend on what you all find. Like, you guys haven't actually looked at
That's
what
what
the
I mean,
portals
yeah.
are, right? So you don't know what else might be going on there, what other attributes might be there. Like, for all you know, there could even be like a third choice or something. But so far, these are the 2 that have presented them to you. So I would say, based on what I see from the party's tendencies, they would probably want to go to the portal to the west. There might be some tactical advantages to going to the portal to the east, because it might give you, like, oh, it's back at your domain, like, you know, you're safe there because it's the place that you raided and hollowed out for your own operations as like a sort of home base away from the city of Sestan. But there's a lot of stuff to think about for that, because like you also know that there are people in the location, including potentially Gokag, that you might want to sync up with. So I would say probably most people are going to go there. If Shoulder chooses to go in contrast with the entire party, then yeah, I might consider you taking over Gokag, and then we kind of like resolve what you're doing separately, because I don't think the rest of the party would like to play as spiders. So.
No. So this is exactly why I'm asking the question, because there's a couple things here. So one, I really don't think anyone would follow me, and I don't expect them to.
Yeah.
I don't want them. It's not that I don't want them to, but I don't want them to feel like they have to or anything like that, because it is literally just a Shoulder decision. But also, it's tied into the fact that Gokag doesn't just know Shoulder. So if he can just convince the others to go where they actually want to go, which shouldn't be too hard, and just tell Gokag to not lose his shit because his bird's missing, and they'll all meet up at Sestan, that's fine. But also, like, not only do I want everyone to make the decision they want to make, I feel like playing as Gokag would be kind of fun for a session or two.
How about this? Aranask one shot.
What?
Everyone else is a type of Aranask. Shoulder arrives. Go fucking portal.
I don't want to play a creepy spider person.
But
That
you play a
didn't make
lawful good creepy spider person.
Creepy spider person paladin.
No, I
No,
think,
no such thing. Kill them all.
me go spiders, you go forest, I play go keg.
All right.
Might be a
You can
thing.
play a Damthier Paladin.
Half vampire, I see. Well, lads, I hope that the session was enjoyable despite our
Dude, that was
homies
fucking
being
sick.
vanished. You guys are on the precipice of seemingly recovering your humanity, your mortality, I should say, and
Birdanity.
birdanity and koboldanity and horsanity and elfanity, which is kind of a profanity.
Oh, the humanity. I feel like we healed Fizz. I think Augustius is just the same guy, and I think he actively got work.
Okay. Wait,
No, Augustius
so-
seemed to get better. He kind of like acknowledged that he needs to improve his anger management.
All right. So, does this mean, right? Assuming that is the way things go, right? I play Go Keg for a couple sessions. When the party resumes, right? When the party reconnects, do I have to roleplay both Go Keg and Shoulder meeting each other for the first time since forever?
No, I think I'll take Gokeg back.
I can't even get like 5 minutes of like autism of talking to myself.
I guess you could play the Paladin.
Oh, it's Shoulder. Hi, Go Keg.
you can have 2 lines.
It's like 2 lines. Two lines. That's all I'm asking.
All right. Yeah. As long as it's not a
Yeah.
prolonged event, it's fun.
Yeah. I'm not gonna be AIDS about
No,
it.
you just leave the stream running, and it's just him. And he has to play every character.
We all walk away from the keyboards. Yeah.
It's schizophrenia at that point.
The one condition, though, is that you have to do everybody's voice.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be schizophrenia. It could just straight up, you're having a very creative moment, creative time.
Schizophrenia.
It's only schizophrenia if you're unaware that you're doing it.
That's true, and we
alright.
have streamographic evidence that you know what you're doing. So.
Okay, so I know it's probably just like the high of, possibly reaching my spiders and Gokeg soon and also meeting Jurgle. But like, TPP next week?
No, I want to get to the thing.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah, we
paid too
kind of
much money.
we
I
already-
paid too much money to not
Yeah.
play that campaign. It's not fiscally responsible.
Well, you don't have to be as physically responsible because you won a bunch of money already.
You have to
Dude,
ride the battle
I
platform.
unironically just turned $15 into 200.
That's pretty good. Well, lads,
Based?
I think we're going to call it there. I got to use the bathroom and get to bed, but I will catch you guys soon for some more action. And for the donors in the party, you'll be hearing from me for a donor cast, log, whatever, walk cast or something. The work cast today for Cosmo was funny because I just kept pausing it every time somebody came in. Really good.
Hey, is the stream still on?
Yeah, I'm about to stop it.
Gambling is good.
Please bet.